Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Black Americans have a history of activism from all the way back from Nat Turner, Gabriel Prosser, Denmark Vesey, Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, Dr. Martin Luther King. We have a history of activism, of advocating for ourselves, of speaking truth to the powers of the United States of America. We have a history of doing that. And when you speak up for yourself, very often you will get results. We have gotten results in the United States for activism and for advocating for ourselves. But for some reason, things have gotten twisted, and people think that we're supposed to be advocating for everybody. We're supposed to be advocating for their issues even when they don't advocate for themselves. And people who are non-black who will come to the United States and assimilate into white society and become a part of the problem that we call that ism, that we call race, but in their own homeland, when they're having problems with the United States, for some reason now, they think we're supposed to advocate for them. I believe there's a mindset that because we will advocate for ourselves, we also should be advocating for everybody else. When we say Black Lives Matter, they think we should be saying all lives matter. We don't need to be just focusing on ourselves. We should be focusing on everybody, even though they don't focus on us. Now, mind you, many of these people who think we should be advocating for them are really anti-black. They don't like black people. But if they can get us to take on their issues and say take on the United States government on their behalf, they will be very happy for us to do that. But if we don't do that, then their anti-blackness will come through. Now, when that situation came off in Gaza, what we said in Black America, and we don't have national leadership, which is what we really need, but we don't have it. But what we have collectively said is that that is not our fight. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. We said that's not our fight. We don't know anything about what's going on over there. We know what it looks like, but we don't know all of the undercurrents of it. So it's not our fight. And when people say, well, is this going on over there or that's going on over there, what we could also say is that we have undergone all of that. And nobody has advocated for us except a few white people in the United States of America. There will always be some white people who will advocate for whatever is going on. But as far as people coming from afar to the United States or even giving a voice in another land, they don't do that for us. But now we're supposed to do it for them. And if we don't, then they come for us. Now I want to show you this. I can't show you the video because there's so much cussing going on in the video, but I want to show you this. This woman, and I believe she's a Palestinian, is coming for Black Americans because we won't jump in the fight in Gaza because of her concern for what's going on over there. Now, we don't know what they're doing to advocate for themselves, but apparently she wants us to stop paying taxes and not vote. She's upset about Kamala and black people are voting for people who are putting policies in place that are hurting them. And she thinks that we should take on the government of the United States on behalf of the Palestinians when we really don't know what's going on. What happened was that there were Black Americans who jumped in this at the beginning after we said this is not our fight. There are Black Americans who jumped in on the side of these people, as well as people who might look like us, but they're not Black Americans, they were on the side of the Palestinians. So she took this opportunity to cuss out Black Americans. And I'll put the video in the description box and the comment section. But she's cussing Black Americans out for serving in the military, for voting for people that she doesn't think we should vote for, and not getting out in the streets and taking to the streets and starting a revolution because of what's going on in Gaza. I believe that the fact that Black Americans jumped in this, or people who look like Black Americans jumped in this conflict and took sides with them, and nothing happened, now she's mad because she thinks we should lay our lives down on the line, apparently, because of what's going on over there. There are atrocities going on somewhere in the world at all times. Nobody is ever going to lay down their life for Black Americans. We have had to do our own advocating. We have had to do our own suffering. We have had to speak our own truth to power. And people just like her will be the first one to come over here and jump on the side of anti-Black people. So I believe that not minding your business can hurt your own people, because most Black Americans did not jump into this conflict on anybody's side because we said it's not our fight. Some did. And this is the result of what you get. Now, I don't blame the people for speaking what they feel their truth. I don't blame Black Americans for speaking their truth. But sometimes when you do that without forethought, people can take that and use that against you, because after all, you didn't do enough. Listening to her, she feels like you Black Americans didn't do enough because you are voting for people. Now, mind you, we are only about 14% of the population. She barely said anything about the rest of the American people. Her focus was on Black Americans. So now we're supposed to take to the streets and make something happen because she's upset. So it's always a good idea to mind your own business. Black Americans, we keep saying, we have no friends. We are all we've got. And we have to conserve our energy, our intellect, our power, because we need it for ourselves. It's not that we can't be concerned about other people's issues. We can't give away what we have to somebody else, and then when our time comes to need somebody, they turn a blind eye. Now, we know that in the places where these people like her live, Black Americans complain about how they behave towards Black people. She went on this rant, and she has every right to go on a rant. But we have to be careful about our own advocacy, and we have to be careful about what we're doing in the world, because we don't run the United States government. We have power, but we don't have the power. And we don't make laws by ourselves. And she's saying, well, you support the laws. Well, excuse me, everybody in the United States supports the laws. So anyway, not minding your own business can hurt your whole ethnic group. You get out in the streets trying to help, and then they decide, no, you're supposed to do all of it. And evidently the people that were supporting the Palestinians put the Palestinian flag on their social media pages. She said, you need to take that flag, take that watermelon out of your profile page, because you know the Palestinians have the watermelon slice in their flag. So she said, you need to take it out. I mean, she was really angry. So again, I made the video yesterday, and I'm going to say it again. We do best when we mind our own Black American business. We don't run the world, and we don't run the people that run the world. So if she has a fight, she has a complaint, she needs to take it directly to the United States government and the majority of the people who make up the United States government, not to Black Americans. Her attitude comes off as if she thinks she's entitled to Black American advocacy, and she's insulting. So again, let's mind our own business. Let's treat people with respect, keep them lifted up in prayer, but we cannot give away to others what we need for ourselves. Now, y'all, let me know what you think about this. Thank you for listening and have a good evening.